It looks like we are live. Hello and welcome to our next part of this Changemaker series. This is Confessions of a Global Changemaker, how to avoid what we have been through as we've been growing our global businesses so that you don't have to make those same mistakes. And if there's something coming for you, if there's a train on its way, then we want to make sure that we highlight that for you and help you to navigate it before it even becomes an issue. So today I have the amazing Yvonne Douglas, who is the Starseed Alchemist, and I want to get straight into what does that mean. So Yvonne, welcome to today's show.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good. I'm looking forward to the summit this weekend.
Yes, likewise, very excited.
So Yvonne, I want to know what a starseed alchemist is. Tell us about that. What does that mean and how did you get into it?
Wow, it's been a long journey. So, how I got into it, I'll just do it very briefly. I have been on a really harrowing journey of self-discovery, and I use my story as part of the work that I do. So, I've been through all sorts of things in terms of emotional neglect, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, and I've overcome all these things via various means, such as counseling, coaching, shamanic healing, spiritual healing. And the more I've let go of all that stuff, the more I've opened up myself, my spiritual self, my soul self, and I've realized how many spiritual gifts I have. And it's just becomes, I had a spiritual awakening in 2012 where all my spiritual gifts started to just come to the fore, and I've just evolved so much. So when I changed my career, because I used to work in the corporate industry, banking industry, as a secretary and executive assistant. But then, having gone through an emotional breakdown, been in rehab for food addiction, and came out of that and realized that that was not my calling. And this is what I do now is my calling. It's my soul's purpose. And I use, so basically, I use my spiritual gifts to help people, to help women to become empowered, to help them to realize their true self, to heal from their past traumas, to gain inner peace, to really envelop their divine goddess energy, and to just rock the world, really, and to just make some changes, because we are going through such a changeable time at the moment. The ascension is real. It really is happening, and a lot of people are waking up spiritually, waking up to the powerful part of who they really are, their spirit part. And so I've had shamanic training, so I'm a shamanic practitioner. And so basically, the starseed alchemist is the fact that I use a lot of energy, and I use energy from above, from the spirit world, to help people heal on very deep soul levels. It's a serious business. I'm very honored to be doing it as well. And yeah, I'm just fulfilling my life purpose doing this. And
I think it's amazing what you're doing, and it's very brave. It's because I mean, I've grown up in a world of spirituality, so for me this is very real. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs who have been hiding that side of themselves for most of their lives, for fear of rejection, or how could I possibly charge for that, or is that tangible enough? There's a lot of light workers that are totally undervaluing themselves, over delivering on their promises, and getting underpaid as a result, and they're burning out and not listening to that soul. For those of you watching now, I love the question, and I've been typing in the banners as Yvonne's been talking. But what's your calling? What's your soul purpose? What do you believe you are here to do? Because in sharing that, we can all support each other to achieve that as well, and ask some questions, because that's what Yvonne is here for today in this half an hour of power that we have today. We have oh, hello. I can see a Facebook user with a heart, but I can't see your name. So please do leave your name if you put a comment there. Yvonne, as you've, obviously you've had a lot of experience, you're really tuning in. You must follow your your gut instinct, or would you call it something else? Is it not a gut instinct that we're following? Is it actually something that's greater that we call a gut instinct? What would you say about that?
So people call it a gut instinct, and some people call it their intuition, their sixth sense. So it is really connecting with your higher self, your God self, the part of you that's connected to source, divine source. And when you tune into that, you live by foresight, not by hindsight. And it's the thing is, because when we were at school, we were taught that we only have 5 senses, weren't we?
Yeah.
We weren't taught we had 6 senses. So a lot of us have to actually relearn how to tune into our sixth sense, our higher self. When we were babies, we had that, but we kind of lose it because of the way society is set up. We're not taught how to use it. We're not taught it actually exists, but it does exist in each and every one of us to varying degrees. So it's really important that we do learn to trust our intuition. I like to call it intuition. And at one point, there was a point when I did have my spiritual awakening. I wrote my second book, which was around trusting your intuition, because there were so many times in the past where I wasn't trusting it. I wasn't trusting myself. I wasn't tuned in, and I made so many mistakes. So many mistakes.
So how many of you watching this right now have not followed your gut instinct, and you've ended up either on a totally different path to the one you meant to be on, that is like, you know, giving you like a 2-year detour or something like that, or you followed your gut instinct, or you had a gut instinct about something someone else was going to do, and your gut instinct was totally true and it came true, and you just wanted to say to them, I told you so, but hopefully you didn't do that. But, you know, are you listening to your soul guidance, your higher self? Oh, it's Kay. Hello, Kay. It's nice to see you again.
Hi.
So Yvonne, you know, what would be a tangible way? Because obviously a sixth sense, it's something you can't see, a bit like brand, isn't it? Really, it's something you can't see, but you know it's there. If you don't follow it, it bites you on the backside. What is like a tangible thing that you could share that is like a total, you're not following your gut instinct? Like, what is there a physical response? Is there something that as soon as we feel that or hear that, sense it, we should be thinking, hang on a minute?
We should. And more often than not, if we don't, we can end up with things like anxiety. And you know, it's as simple as that. Stress, doubting ourselves, getting paranoid even, and kicking ourselves that we didn't listen. And we can make so many mistakes that could have been avoided if only we listened and just, you know. And I think the problem is as well is that a lot of people don't take time out to be with self. So they're running, and they're doing, and they're not connecting with self. They're not taking that time out, that quiet space. You know, meditation is key to human living. You know, that I often say that meditation is nature's medicine, because there's only one letter difference in meditation and medication. So with meditation, if you're not meditating, then there's something wrong. We need to be still. We are human beings, not human doings. And the more we meditate, the more we're going to be in tune, and the more we're going to use that muscle and develop that muscle of intuition.
I love that. I'm going to type that into the banner here, because that's, if you don't have this across the top of your website, madam, I will be slapping your bottom, because something you just said was so important, which was, and I don't know if you heard it, the more we meditate, the less we need to medicate.
I will put that at the top of my website.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that is, I've never heard that before, but that is so true. I've never ever thought about that. There's only one letter difference in both of these things. But, you know, of course, I don't think you'll go down favourably with the pharmaceutical industry, but then I guess you're not on a mission to be favourable and friends with them anyway.
Beautiful, and I really don't care because I am a disruptor.
So, Yvonne, you know, I mean, this obviously this series is called, you know, the Confessions of a Global Changemaker. You know, this is really about confessing something that you've been through, you know, a situation or something that's happened to you in the past or on this journey of being an entrepreneur, that if you were able to go back and say to your younger you, hey, this is what's happening. Here's how I dealt with it, but here's how I would deal with it if it ever happened again. Or here, you know, it's just so that our entrepreneurs that are following this journey, if they're ever going to come up against it, I think it'd be great advice to support them in either going through it or getting through it. So what would that be for you?
You know what? Within the entrepreneurial journey, that advice that I would give to myself is to, if somebody approaches me or you for collaboration, always trust that intuition, because I have done some collaboration in the past, and only to come out
more prominent. This could not be more of a like, oh yeah, okay, thanks, thank you, all right, I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah, because I've collaborated in the past, and it's been to my detriment really, where people take the mickey. You know, being an empath, being a sensitive soul, being somebody that's very giving, I've had to learn to really bring on my warrior self as well as my light and love self, because people will try and take the mickey. So so that is something that I will definitely, you know, advise myself, my younger self perhaps, and on this journey, is to really trust who you're going into collaboration with, and make sure that it is a 50-50 win-win situation, and that nobody just wants to take advantage of the talents and skills that you bring to the table.
I think there's a two-way thing here, isn't there? Because it's about making it's clear boundaries. It's assertiveness without aggressiveness. But you know, going into a partnership, obviously, you want there needs to be give and take. But also, I think from our point of view, in what we give, I think it's also about protecting that as well, because there are situations that happen. I've been through them, still go through them, where, you know, you want to trust so much the people who have said that they're bringing this to the table, and you can give, but they will never, no matter what you do, they will never actually see what you're giving to it, because they have their own filter and bringing their own limiting beliefs into it, their own assumptions. And that is the killer of relationships, because they're bringing, it's like they're walking into the relationship with like a whole lifetime's worth of baggage that they're bringing in, and acting like they've got that baggage, but then expecting you to dance around the baggage and on the baggage and move the baggage for them, and that doesn't work either.
No, because it's not your job to do. It's not our job to do. It's their own job to do. No. And, you know, it's just like any other relationship. You do have to have those boundaries. And that's why I say, you know, when you're in business, it's so important to deal with your stuff so that it doesn't affect how you operate in business. Because we are our businesses. As an entrepreneur, we are our business. And the more you deal with your stuff, your past, your self-esteem, your confidence, etc., it's just going to hold you in good stead in being a successful entrepreneur. And I've learned a lot along the way.
I believe that too. How many of you watching now have had that experience where you've gone into business with someone, or you've taken an outsourcer on, or a supplier, or you've gone into a relationship where you've given everything to it and that person hasn't given back, and then they've blamed you for not giving? Like, how many of you? Because I mean, that is like projection, isn't it, of the worst kind. It's like, I've got this stuff in me, therefore you must be the person. And as they're doing that, they forget they've actually got 3 fingers coming right back at them, that are pointing at them while they're pointing the finger. And isn't it always the way that these kind of people as well, what I'm noticing more and more is that they're the ones that have always got a victim story. They're the ones that have always been abused before, and they're like, you know, the bird with a broken wing. And it's happened again, and then it's happened again. Oh, you know, and then it's happened again. And you think, well, you know, we fall for the story because of who we are. We fall for that because our soul is clean. We want to, you know, do the very best for all the people that are out there that we feel are under our care. But then, you know, nothing you can do will make that difference. And I think I'm not quite sure if it would be narcissistic, but it's certainly, there's an element of that, which is like, I give and I take away, I give and I take away, I give and I take away. So I'm not quite sure if it's labelled, but it's definitely a behaviour to avoid. I love this. We have not discussed this one, but it is so big.
Well, you know, you mentioned that dreaded, yeah, it is. And you did mention that dreaded word, the narcissist. And it may not be a fully blown narcissist, but it could be somebody with narcissistic traits. Absolutely, where they're just all out for themselves and they don't actually see themselves and what they're doing and how they're behaving and how their behavior affects you. And they don't actually care as long as they get what they want. And again, this could be in a business relationship as well as a personal relationship. So it really is important that as an entrepreneur, if you're a light worker, an empath, sensitive soul, that you really do protect yourself and work on your self-esteem and build that up so that you have the right boundaries in place, you're healthy, you are confident, and you stand in your power without fear of being rejected because you feel that you're maybe too soft or something. No.
Right. Yeah. That really is, that's important work to do. I remember the first time it ever happened to me, I was crushed. And, you know, I would say that because I was so crushed by it, I almost put myself out of business because I allowed their behavior to have that impact on me. Now, when it happens, and it's happened literally yesterday, it's happened. So that's why I said to you, this is very fresh. And I sat here, as I am right now, I sat here, I looked up and I said, thank you, God, because you cleared house faster than you ever usually do. So you cleared house. And it hasn't actually, usually it would really affect me. This time it's like, okay, actually, when I think about it, when I follow my gut instinct, yeah, I can spot, I can join all the dots going backwards. Do you know what? Brilliant learning. You know, and this is different learning. It's not like I've learned this same lesson before. So this was a different one. Thank you for the lesson. You know, season, lifetime. This person was there for a season. And now, you know, obviously there's a reason why the paths aren't going that way anymore. They're very silly in their behavior, but you can't take responsibility for their behavior. You just can't.
You can't.
So what would you suggest doing in that situation for those people that are also going through this, that have got some kind of relationship, whether it be work or personal, and it has gone south and it's not going as you hoped it would? Is that the sort of thing where you would do a soul tie cutting or something like that? Is that what sort of process would you do for somebody who isn't feeling as strong? That needs to, you know, I don't want anyone else to go out of business because they are dwelling on it. So what would you say to that? What's the process?
Well, yes, definitely a cord cutting exercise would be beneficial to make sure that the tie is not, you're not still pulled towards that person. And sometimes, even especially if it's a personal relationship, maybe something even deeper needs to happen. A soul retrieval. So that's something that I do as well in my discovery sessions, is soul retrievals, where, you know, when we've gone through trauma, essence of our soul shoots off out into the ether, and it can stay there for years and years. And we sometimes don't feel whole. Sometimes we might realize, I don't feel whole, I don't feel myself. And you might be, you would have adapted your behaviors for many, many years. And so soul retrieval is about bringing parts of your soul back so that you feel whole again. And when I do this work, it's absolutely phenomenal how people change, and they they go into that situation again and they deal with it differently, and it's like a light bulb moment. Oh, I dealt with it differently this time.
Yeah.
It's because of the soul retrieval. It's powerful work, very powerful work.
I would agree with that. I would say I would totally agree with that. I mean, my first business partner, we built 5, 6 companies together over 11 years, and you know, and we did great work. We did really great work together. We built some amazing things together. Yeah, and it was like when he left the business, there was this kind of I don't know, there was this gap that I wasn't aware of. But it wasn't until it took me at least 2 years to realize the gap was that there wasn't a narcissist in my life anymore. And I didn't know how to be without somebody constantly putting it down. You know, so it took me a couple of years, and it wasn't until I had a soul retrieval that I came out of it. And now, and I think because of that experience and the person that I did it with, they gave me all the information. I was like, wow, I can't believe that. And I'd had a pain in my shoulder that went as soon as I had this soul retrieval. And she said, the attachment. Said, I was working on your shoulder. I said, how could you possibly know that? You know, because I was really feeling it as she was doing it. And she said, you know, you had that attachment and now it's gone. And it's amazing. You know, now when that situation happens, I never treat it the same way ever since, because I know that there's a part of my soul that has been committed to that. All I've got to do is take ownership of it again. They have no ownership whatsoever, but having an expert like yourself guiding through that process, I would say would be the best way to do that. Oh my God, Yvonne, we have gone so deep into what you do. Like, I feel like I've known you for years already. I've known you about a week. And we're going to know each other at the Vision, Voice and Visibility Summit. I'm so excited that this weekend we're going to spend 3 whole days together. Very, very excited about that. Those of you that haven't got your ticket yet, I'll just put the link up there so you can get your ticket. There is still time. There's still a few days left. Yvonne, what are you looking to get out of the summit? Why are you attending?
I'm attending because I want to take my business global. I want to create a movement, love revolution movement. It's time, because, you know, one of the things that I've been guilty of is playing it too damn small. And it stops. It is time for me to really do what I came here for on a global scale. That's what I'm looking forward to.
You're definitely going to get that. You are definitely going to get that. And I don't know if you watched my video in the Global Movement Makers group yesterday, which, guys and girls, for those of you that do get a ticket to the summit, you get access into that group. I don't know if you watched it yesterday, but I have a filmmaker coming along, and she's going to be doing interviews with key people at the summit to find out, you know, when did you realize that you were a change maker, and what is it that drives you? Because that's what we're really looking at. What is it that is driving you to want to play bigger, to go global, to make that bigger impact, to stop playing small? What is it that's driving you? So I'll wait for Kerosy to ask you those questions, because this is, you know, we are going to be creating a documentary or a docu-series out of the work that we are doing this coming weekend. Yvonne, we've run out of Oh, we've had a little internet gremlin there. I want to talk to you so much more, but we're out of time. So thank you so much for joining us on today's show. Thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you.
Yes, very much so. Look forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Lovely.
Yes. Well, take care, my darling. For those of you that are tuning in, I'll see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow for, I think we're on part 8 of how to wreck your personal brand and really how to avoid doing it. So I'll be live at 8 a.m. again on this channel, and I'll also be going live at 5:30 tomorrow with the next interview of our Going Global Changemaker series. Tomorrow I am interviewing Paul O'Mahony, who is the amazing social media guru who is transforming the lives of hundreds of thousands of people globally through the strategies that he's sharing. And we've confirmed today that he is also going to be at the summit. So you're going to be learning from him how to create a global strategy. I'm pulling in all of the most amazing, juicy, awesome people to make the greatest difference to your life. And Yvonne, you're gonna benefit from that. And those of you that are coming to the summit, I'm so excited. And if you can't make it there in person, there is the live stream ticket, so you can get that as well. Yvonne, take care. Those of you watching, take care. I will see you.
Bye. All right.
Sending you big love. Take care. See you soon.